Welcome to the Confidently Balance Your Hormones podcast. My name is Dee Davidson, and I'm a hormone health expert, master mindset coach, and multiple wellness business entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you experience hormone balance, confidence, self-love, and live a life full of joy. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today. And now let's begin. Welcome to another episode of Confidently Balance Your Hormones. This is your guide, Dee Davidson, and today's guest is someone whose passion for gratitude goes far beyond mindset. She's here to show us how it can truly impact our hormones and our health on a physiological level. Kim Angeli is an in-demand business strategist and the creator of Grow with Gratitude, a framework that has helped countless service-based business scale with intention. Her clients consistently experience exponential growth, not through buying leads or cold calling, but through the power of cultivating loyalty and meaningful relationships, all rooted in gratitude. With over 23 years of experience, Kim has seen firsthand how intentional gratitude doesn't just shift our business outcomes, it shifts our biology. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Today, she's joining us to unpack how practicing gratitude can actually regulate our stress response, support hormone balance, and promote deeper healing from the inside out. So welcome to the show, Kim.
Thanks for having me, friend. Good to see you.
Yes, I had to have you. I know we've known each other for many years now. The years just keep going by one after another. And you know that I'm a big believer in gratitude, and it's part of my every second of the day. And I know the power of gratitude. I wasn't always someone who was so focused on the positive. I, grew up in a very negative household. And so it is a practice, but I do know the power of applying it in the everyday life. So, Kim, maybe just tell us a little bit about why you love this whole gratitude practice thing and why you do this.
Well, first of all, it changed my life. I was pretty much not the most, let me just turn my volume up a little bit. I was very active and grumpy in my past life. I think a lot of us that turn to gratitude, we don't turn to things when things are awesome. I turned to gratitude and found it in 2010 when my life was kind of falling apart. It started out with losing $100,000 from a client on March 15th of 2010. And then 30 days later, my father got diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver, which meant he was going to have to go home, and we were running an insurance agency together. And so I was also raising my daughter. And so what I did is I just started putting one note of gratitude in a box I got from like Big Lots. I don't even know if they're still around anymore. And on a Post-it note, and I would put one note of gratitude in a night. Because in the book I had bought in 2001, The Power of Focus by Jack Canfield, gratitude is the way to transform your life. It is the highest vibration. For you scientific people, it's not woo-woo, it's 900 megahertz, right? And anger and grumpy, I don't even know if grumpy is on the chart, but is 150 megahertz.
Wow.
Right. And when you're in gratitude at 900 megahertz frequency vibration, germs don't live up here. Actually, they don't live up here. They cannot
Right.
vibrate at a 900 megahertz frequency.
You're right.
Guess where they live? In grumpy land in 150 megahertz. What's not going well? What's wrong? What's negative? People are actually attracting disease to themselves being grumpy.
You're so right. I mean, when we talk about inflammation in the body and things breaking down, and a matter of fact, this morning I left a Voxer message for a client, and she's constantly focused on what's going to go wrong. The thing that we think about the most, I believe, we attract the quickest. The things we fear, we put them right in. So
Right.
that makes so much sense that it's going to show up in our health that way. So I want to ask you, what's actually happening in our bodies though? Like what's your take on that when we
Well, you're actually, like I told you, you're increasing dopamine and serotonin naturally, focusing on what's going well. Now, I'm not telling you to which I don't even have one here, shame on me, to write in your gratitude journal, or I don't care if you're writing gratitude in a
Right.
notebook. I'm not attached to how you start your practice of
Uh-huh.
gratitude. Now, writing it is different than
Right.
saying it. So, what happens when you write it and when you're going out into the world and you're shifting your focus to I taught gratitude Sunday night to a client of mine in New York City, to 198 of their um, an attitude of gratitude in the workplace, to 200 of their employees. And I said, this isn't like we write our
Right.
gratitude down in the morning and we have our coffee and then we go out and we get in our car and we're a jerk. Like
That's
we
the
cut people
moment. We
off.
forgot that
We're,
moment.
I mean, we're like, okay, we're going to write our gratitude, like Kim says, and then we're going to go. No, this is a life rooted in gratitude. Like when someone cuts you off in traffic, you're stopping. I teach this process called E. Somebody cuts you off in traffic, the event, plus pause your response. You're going to respond. It is your 100% responsibility to respond, right? We all own the response. Gratitude or
Uh-huh.
grumpy equals the outcome. So let's just say the person cuts you off in traffic and then you get all pissed off and angry. You just lowered your frequency to
Uh-huh.
150 to meet theirs. You've just met them at their
Right.
frequency.
Not a good thing.
Not a good thing because now you're lowering your serotonin, your dopamine, your happy
Mm-hmm.
mood. Or you could pause and say, wow, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they just found out their mother died. Maybe they just had to drop their kid off at daycare and they hate their job. Like, why don't we think about and pause how to respond differently? Because it does affect the outcome. It's affecting your internal
Right.
outcome because we don't want to live life like up and down and up and down. We want to be in
Uh-huh.
neutrality. And we want to be responding in a way that's positive. Now we have to, life is happening
Right.
to us, but we don't want to react in, we want to respond. Reacting is not having any emotional mastery. You're just reacting like you're pissed
Right.
off, right? Which actually that causes issues in the bladder.
Mm.
If you watch, I
Like
taught that
Chinese
yesterday. So
medicine.
Louise Hay has a book that says if you're having experiences with your bladder, that's attached to you saying all the time, I'm pissed off. They piss me
Oh.
off. And if eye issues is
Ah.
resentment. So for everything in the body, because you can heal yourself. I
Yeah.
know that sounds crazy to people, but I know for a fact, even my mother, love her, she's not with us anymore. Because of her fear and worry and her negative responding, like what was not going well. I mean, she would always focus on what was not going well most of the time. And she had a illness that stemmed from the gut, which is
Yep.
where all the
Yep.
all the
Yep.
illness starts,
Yep.
girl, right? And it showed up on her leg with pyoderma gangrenosum, which is a like a flesh-eating looking thing. It was terrible. Long story short is my mother let that disease become the focus of her
Which
identity and she never healed from
happens
it.
to so many people with any
Never healed
diagnosis.
from it. Yep. And it was caused from fear and worry. She was drinking Pepto-Bismol as a 6 year old or 7 year old because my grandmother would tell her all the things about their finances, and you don't need to be telling your kids
That's so
about what's
stressful.
going on
That's
in
right.
the office. That's so her 0 to 7 programming was fear and
Wow.
worry and negative, and she never
Right.
overcame it. She never healed
Right.
from it. So we have to heal from these things, and gratitude is a healer. Like what is going
Right.
well?
So for someone, let me ask you this, for someone who is thinking, where do I start or how do we break that cycle? Where does someone who is living in it, maybe they have a negative significant other or a negative mother, right, that they have a relationship with, where do they start to, break the cycle or be more aware around it?
With themselves.
And how to do
Okay.
that?
It starts with them. When you change yourself, you change others around you. And I've done it as a game, and it's
Mm-hmm.
so true. We start with self, And so I want you to, here's a little exercise I run clients through. And if you've never read The Untethered Soul, it's in this book by Michael Sanger. It's in one
Yes,
of
I
the
have it.
books. I want you to imagine, so you have 60,000 thoughts on average a day in your brain to yourself. You're speaking to yourself all day long. Like, what do you say when you wake up in the morning? Like, before you even put your feet on the floor, what are you saying to yourself? Ooh, God, yuck, I got to get up. Like, become aware of what are you saying to yourself, even just first thing in the morning. Like, you could take a piece of paper and just brain dump everything on your mind before you hit the floor, and then write three things of gratitude, right? Like shift them to what is going well. First is awareness of what you're saying negatively. That's the first thing. So imagine that you took all the thoughts you said to yourself in one day, and there was a little minion beside you of your brain. And they spoke to you the whole day, everything you said, like, oh, you look fat, Kim. Oh, you're never worthy, Kim. Oh, your hair, your roots need to be done. That's what I just thought to myself, watching myself on here. Like, think of the things we say to
That
each
damn
other,
voice in our head.
right? Like, look, your roots are, I just thought to myself, God, your roots are dark. Or when you can get your hair cut. That's what I was saying to myself as I'm
The
talking to you.
inner
Like,
critic,
our
the inner
little
critic.
minion is always talking to us. So what if that minion was beside you and all day long they did was speak to you? Everything you said to yourself, Kim, you need your roots done. Kim, you can, whatever it is. At the end of the day, would you be friends with that little minion or would you poke him in the eyeballs? So think about rewiring the brain. That's really what we're doing is with gratitude and saying, okay, what am I actually did a whole entire hour this morning of this work. Is you want to start rewriting the story you're telling yourself because you cannot move from old self to new self with the old story. So, in your example, here's the story you would want someone to tell themselves. They might be telling themselves now, I'm not healthy, I'm overweight, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, the story they need to start telling themselves before they are, we're going to act as if they already are. They're going to speak into existence. I'm an athlete. I'm fit. I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. Like whatever the identity is of that person they want to be. One of the success principles I teach through my Jack Canfield work is act as if. So you want them to take that old story and rewrite it into where they want to be, who they're going to be in the future. We want to future cast that identity and start stepping into. So, what would an athlete, like, what would Michael Jordan say to himself in the morning? Oh, you're a loser.
Right,
You
right, right,
can't
right.
make it. Like, what is he saying to himself? Because only 1% of people actually rewire their brain at the level they need to reach the epitome of excellence. Actually, only 3% of people will become aware of thoughts. Most people are having the same thoughts they had yesterday and the day before, and they're just replaying their
You're an
thoughts in their brain. So
autopilot.
they're replaying the same day every day. It's like
Yes,
Groundhog
the
Day.
autopilot.
Every day is the same day. And the awareness and who you are right now is your friend. Because until you're aware of the thought, like me being aware of why was I talking about I'm going to get my hair colored when I get back to Charlotte? Like,
Judging yourself,
next.
right?
You're almost like, what was that? And you want to really uncover. Sometimes you have a thought. What I've uncovered in some of this deep work I've done in the last 24 months on thoughts and awareness and rewriting and transforming my life in is almost sometimes that thought you're telling yourself wasn't even yours. You were told that in your 0 to 7 programming, zero when you come from the hospital to 7 years old, because we don't have a subconscious mind filter at that point. Everything that's told us goes right into the subconscious mind. So even my trigger, this is just a trigger for, I'll explain a trigger to you that became acutely aware to me traveling years ago. Was every time I would go into a hotel at night, I would go and seek out a pack of peanut
Okay.
M&Ms, yellow
You're not the
package
only one
peanut
to tell me
M&Ms.
this, by the way. It's like deja vu because I have clients that travel all the time and they're like, where do
Okay,
I get
okay.
the
So
snack?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you want to know where that came from? It wasn't my snack. I don't even
Oh,
like them
wow.
now. So my father, I traveled with him when I was too young to
Mm,
work, and he traveled 5 days a week. He owned an insurance agency, and I would go and travel with him in Virginia. Well, a bad habit of my father's, he would go get M&Ms in the vending machine before bed, and we would eat M&M. And so that was just a habit. I picked it from him. And when did I break the habit? I had someone tell me who was traveling a lot with me. She's like, "Do you realize? Do you go and seek out M&Ms at night?" And I'm like, "What?" I didn't even, because see, sometimes we can't see the behavior we're doing. That's why we hire coaches like Dee, so that we can see the behavior we're doing and we don't even realize it. We're not even consciously aware of it. I wasn't even consciously aware of it. It was just such a habit. It was like getting them brushing my teeth. Like I'm sure that y'all don't have a post-it note on your forehead saying brush my teeth tomorrow morning. I mean, it's become your
your
habit
routine,
that you
right?
do regardless of, you don't say, "Oh my God, I was so busy today. I never got around to brush my teeth." I hope no one on this call
That's
says
right.
that. But you're also doing other behaviors like brushing your teeth unconsciously that you're not even aware of. I was buying those M&Ms every night in hotel. In fact, in Kentucky, I went to speak in Kentucky about the Go Giver Way in May. And sometimes those sneaky little habits come back. And I was sitting in my hotel room. I was like, "Da-da-da-da." And of course, I brought
Yeah,
healthy
of course.
snacks. You know, a health coach, amazing
Yeah,
like you. You're amazing. And so I was like, "Oh, no, 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 Kim, that's not yours." So you have to stop yourself and
right,
pause and say, "Okay, I'm not going to respond to
right.
this and go find a vending machine in the middle of the night in Owensboro, Kentucky,
You're,
because I was taught this bad habit by my father to go and eat a bag of peanut M&Ms before I went to bed, which is not healthy. I mean, have you ever looked at the
oh,
bag
it's
and what's in
terrible.
them? I
It's
mean,
terrible.
it's like you're drinking road,
Terrible.
like
Yeah.
Roundup. It's,
And again, we are what we eat, right? It just shows.
we are what
Yeah,
we eat. I
yeah.
don't want to be an M&M. I don't want to be a I don't want to be a peanut M&M. So people don't even, the awareness and your identity are the baby steps. So starting your gratitude, like three things you're grateful for. That's the baby step of transforming
Uh-huh.
your mind. If you could just do one thing, like you could just say, right, one thing you were grateful for in the morning, and then maybe one win and one thing you were grateful for at
Uh-huh.
night. I mean, in the beginning, sometimes people can't even think about it. This is why in my journal I have a prompting. I redesigned how I was teaching gratitude because I had a client say to me who, God bless him, I love him. He's actually traveling in Europe right now for 2 weeks by himself, and I'm keeping up with him with the WhatsApp app because he's like, "Well, you're the only one who knows where I am, really." And so basically, he said, I don't know how to take this blank piece of paper and start the
Yeah.
gratitude, right? I don't know how to be prompted. So in my journal, I have promptings like, why are you grateful for nature? What in nature are you most grateful for? And you fill
Uh-huh.
in the blank. It's just getting the mind started in, are you grateful for the trees
Right.
outside? Go take a gratitude walk. Like it's reframing and thinking differently and saying, okay, I have a roof over my head. How many people are, I have money in that. Like, what are you grateful for? And write down what you're grateful for and try not to. It's very difficult in the beginning. Do not repeat something for 30
Okay.
days. So you have 30 days of, now in my journal, it's three things a day. But if you just did one thing a day, you would have 30 things you're grateful for that were not the same. Because what happens if you just say, "I'm happy for my family, my friends, and my blah, blah, blah." You're not rewiring the
Right.
brain. You're not
Another way to
challenging the
just
brain.
be,
I'm grateful for this phone. I'm grateful for Facebook that keeps you and me connected. I'm grateful for Peter who introduced us. I'm grateful for I can talk to people. I'm talking to somebody in Singapore tonight on this phone. I'm super grateful for technology. Now there's a lot of bad things with technology, but what I focus on expands. And so people say, "What's your best app for your business?" And I say, "The phone," because I use it to call people and connect, and I can check Facebook, and so the
lifeline.
phone is the best. And so this is my bit. I mean, if you think about it, we're running businesses from this
Mm-hmm.
phone. And then people complain about how much they are. And I'm like, okay, you're running your business from
Right,
this phone and it costs you $12 for
right,
3 years. Like, why are you complaining about how much the phone costs? You're running your business from it. Remember when we paid for long distance and
right.
offices and my overhead was $125,000 a year before I started making money in my insurance agency? Like in February 10th, I'd make $126,000 and I'd be in the black. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
remember that. So I'm grateful that I run my business from
Yeah,
my
people
phone.
will pay $250 a month for cable TV, right? Which I never turn on my TV. I'm like, they have every channel for $250 a month, but they're complaining about hiring a health coach or someone like you or, the phone. It's insane.
Or eating
Yeah,
fruits and veggies, like we tell our
right.
daughter. She's in college now and we pay for her groceries and all that, and so she's coming off our payroll in December. She'll get a job or be an entrepreneur or whatever she wants to do. And she's like, eating healthy
Expensive.
is expensive. And you know what Rick and I tell her? Pay now or pay later,
No.
darling. We will supplement your income for you to eat whole foods. We will supplement, I mean, whatever it takes. Like I went to the farmer's market and I'm getting veggies and fruit yesterday. And I told the guy, I said, even my dogs eat
Yeah,
veggies and
mine
fruit
too.
with us. Like I eat some peaches
Mine
and they
too.
eat some peaches and I eat some cucumbers. And yes, is that more expensive sometimes?
Right.
Yes, but it's pay now or
It's
pay later.
true. It's so true. That was going to be my question is, a lot of my clients, they're like, I don't have time to do another, add a new habit or do a new practice, but I love how you break it down. And I'm also going to drop in the show notes, my Amazon shop. I will have your gratitude journal, which I personally own in the show notes. So if
Oh,
anyone
good.
is interested in picking that up, I do agree that starting small and just making it, we talk about habit stacking, and I know you do as well, Kim. If you can try to do it at the same time of day, I just find it helps people to make it a habit, right? Instead of saying, I'll do it sometime today. Would you agree, Kim?
Well, and you can attach it to, I mean, you read Atomic
Yes,
Habits. You're going to attach it
that's
to a
right.
habit. So if your habit is waking up and literally turning this on, just
Yeah.
stop it. I mean, unless you need to unless you're a cardiac thoracic surgeon and you're saving people's lives, I really don't understand the need. I mean, I don't. Now, so if just attach it to something. If you have to attach writing one note of gratitude, put a post-it note or a notebook beside your
Yes.
toothbrush
That's a,
and write a note of gratitude, brush your teeth, and then write the note of gratitude and just that's good.
yes.
That's fine. That's all I'm expecting of you for 30 days. That's
That's
it. And then you're just that one practice will actually help you start seeking out positive experiences. That's what I watched as I shifted myself and then everything around me started
yes.
shifting. I'll tell you the smoking gun for this to be healthier, be in gratitude creates more wealth. All of y'all want more wealth. And energetically, poverty is at 600 megahertz and
Uh-huh.
under, and anger is
Uh-huh.
150. So if you're staying negative and pissed off, you're not going to achieve as much wealth
So
as you
true.
want. If you want to achieve wealth and have the magical life by design where you're healthy and wealthy, because one without the other doesn't work. It doesn't math. The
Yes,
math
that's
doesn't add
true.
up. If that occurs over 600 megahertz, where gratitude is 900. So even working on gratitude and self and helping yourself become healthy, because see, energy, so a piece of fruit energetically is a higher vibration than a dead bag of Doritos. If you put those two things together, like a chemically laden bag of
Right.
snacks versus a peach, that peach is actually vibrating at a higher vibration, closer to gratitude than that bag of Doritos. So actually, what you're putting in your body is vibrating as
Yes.
well.
We are energy. It's a real thing. It's
We're
not
energy.
it's not a
So
woo
watch what
thing.
you,
We are
yeah,
energy. That's
yeah.
science right there.
Yeah, it's science. Well, I say that because when I first got in this business, they're like, oh, it's woo-woo. I'm like, oh no, wait, hold please, because I'm a fact girl. So I wanted to find the facts, and that's when I started digging into them. And then so I dug into the energy of food about 6 months ago. And I was like, wow, so when I eat whole food, a peach with no label, it has no label. There's no label on a peach. There's no
Right.
label on a cucumber. There's
One
no label
ingredient.
on a nothing. One ingredient, the
Right.
cucumber, is I started shifting energetically beyond my imagination, taking gratitude and eating healthy. Your vibration is beyond your
Right.
imagination.
That's so true. It really is very true. And taking that to the next level, how our energy affects our stress, sleep, energy, our weight. I always say that I have a lot of people that come to me that want to release weight. As you know, women all want to be losing weight. That's like a constant unhealthy thing where we're so hyper focused, and we have to work on the mindset of why. What does that mean, right? I'm sure you get a lot of that too.
Oh,
But
yes.
I tell people, especially if you're listening to this and you just wish you were in another body or want to release weight, that's more reason to focus on the other pieces that are making your body hold on to this weight, because your body feels safe to have this weight. And until you start to release those limited beliefs and those stories and the toxins from your body and things, you're not going to actually release the weight. When I see someone's intake form and it has all of these traumas they've been through or limiting beliefs and stories, that's a big part of it. It's not just, eat less calories and exercise. It really does affect things like stress and sleep and your energy and all of that. So how have you seen that gratitude? Because I know you work with mostly high level clients. How has gratitude improved your clients' stress, sleep, energy? Because these people are they're not slackers that are working with you, and I know that the type A people especially, they really suffer. They don't sleep well. Uh, they run on coffee in the afternoon. Some of the habits I'm thinking of, right? They
Right.
don't necessarily take the best self-care. How have you seen that gratitude has improved your clients' health and these symptoms?
Well, first of all, the first thing when I start working with a miserable millionaire, because I've been one, we start with gratitude and mindset. And they have to, they are held highly accountable. See, a lot of this stuff you could do on your own, but a lot of the stuff you won't do. So it's the high level of accountability of saying, did you do the work? Did you write the gratitude? And we take gratitude into their company, into their employees. And so when they're delivering gratitude to their employees, then to their customer, because we can't have a grateful client calling a grumpy employee, right? We have to start
Right.
inside first. Inside with the C-level leader, gratitude, go giving, adding value. It shifts their whole life, even into their personal life, because a lot of them were so focused on one of my biggest wins was a guy who ROI, what's the ROI? I'd literally show him this pen. He'd be like, what's the ROI? I'm like, dear Lord, just stop. Would you just stop? Not everything could be measured at that level. Sometimes we're just going to give, not give to
Right.
get. It was a give to get
Sure.
mindset. And so what happens is when you shift to adding value and being grateful, your whole energy and you start attracting, like right now, he's attracting people who want to work
Hmm.
for him. And he couldn't get people. He was like, I can't find anybody to work for me. Well, if you keep saying that, see, what people don't realize is they're speaking their life out into existence. And when you say, I can't find anybody to work for me, the universe brings back to you, you can't find anybody to work
Sure.
for you. But when you say, I work with amazing people and amazing people are attracted to work with me, guess what happens? Amazing people are attracted to work with me because you're in gratitude of the people that you already have. You get more of the same. So, what we did is we got rid of, and people say, oh, this sounds like, but when you bring gratitude into a workplace or into someone's business, and they focus just on the A relationships. Because I have a process where we stack
Sure.
rank them. We take all the relationships and we carve out the A relationships. And sometimes we'll look at B's because they could be moved to A, but we're really going to look at the A's. Like, who do you really want to work with? What
Sure.
do they look like? What do they do? You've already served
Right.
them. They have friends. And so then I have B, C, and then why are they here? Because they're the ones that you see their name come up on the phone and you're like, oh my God, what do they want? You really do not energetically even
Sure.
align with them, and you shouldn't be
Sure.
working with them. So I tell people we bless and release those people, but we focus on the A relationships. Why? Because when you focus on A relationships, you get more A relationships.
Right.
If you focus on the grumpiest client in your business, guess what
More
you
of
get
that.
more of? You get more of them because they have friends. You're almost like saying, hey, Mr. Grumpy client, could you bring me some more of your
Right.
grumpy friends? Because grumpy friends hang out with grumpy
Right.
friends. They're gossiping, they're talking about other people, nothing's ever going well. I mean, they birds of a feather hang
Yes.
out together. So you don't take your least favorite customer and build a business
Right.
plan around them. You take your favorite customer and say, wow, I bet you have amazing people who might need my
Hmm.
services. That's the difference. And so when you shift that mindset to saying you were serving 10,000 people to make
Right.
$1 million a year, now we're going to serve 25 people and make $5 million
Right.
a year, which is what I
Yep.
did for him and what we're
Yep.
working through. It started with gratitude in the mindset first, away from SEO. I mean, yes, we use
Sure.
all that stuff, but really getting back to gratitude and appreciation to the human
Right.
connection is what drove the
Right.
results. And that's what we've gotten away from. People are like, oh, I did this funnel. Oh, I did this SEO. And I'm like, well, 8,000 Facebook friends will not make you money. I'm telling you, I can
Right.
prove it. It's getting back to who are you serving? How are you
Right.
serving them? Adding value and being in
Right.
gratitude.
Gratitude is so powerful. So that's just a great way to wrap this up. And I'm sure there are people that are listening that want to connect with you, want to love your energy. There, you're a magnet. So where can people find you post this podcast episode?
Well, you can go to kimangeli.com, and that's angel with an I, KimAngeli.com. You can Google my name. I have a YouTube channel. I'm everywhere. I have an amazing team who are just always posting for me. So you can find me there and you can message me. And if you have any questions, message me. You can email me at kim@kimangeli.com. I'm not scared to give that out on the airwaves of the internet. And I will email. I feel welcome to reach out. My goal is to inspire grateful living. That is why God gave me breath. And I am on a mission to inspire grateful living and that you are the ripple of gratitude in the world. And I just create tons of little gratitude go-givers, and we're helping the world reach a higher
I
vibration.
love that. And everyone needs a Kim in their life. So I will drop all of that information in the show notes. And I want to thank you so much. I know you're a busy lady for taking the time to share your gifts with this audience.
Thank you, beautiful. You're the best.
Bye
Bye
back at you.
bye.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Confidently Balancing Your Hormones. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love for you to share it with a friend and also hit follow at the top of this podcast. If you have a couple of minutes and you can leave a quick review, it will help other women in need find this podcast. You can find me on Instagram at confidently_love_yourself. I would love to stay connected and hear from you.